Bradajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bradajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Muspat Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Sattvaresvara Smadhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Gopal ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktamani ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Mokh Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Giri Godhan ki Jai Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Navadvip Dham ki Jai Ganga Mai की जाए जमुना माई की जाए गुरु द्वारका धाम की जाए स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जाए और ग्लोरी टू देयर समझ और ग्लोरी टू देयर समझ थैंक यू वेरी मच ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Ambadhamityupamantriya. Pravishya Gajasahvayam Striyascha Swapuram Yasyan Premna Ragya Nivaritaha Rambadhamityupamantriya Pravishya Gajasahvayam Striyascha Swapuram Yasyan Premna Ragya Nivaritaha. Prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi. The Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure by entering the palace of Hastinapur. But upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhishthir, who implored him lovingly.
Krishna Bharam Itupah Mantra Pravishya Gajasayam Striyascha Sapurang Jasyan Premna Ragya Nivarita. So, this verse, all the ladies of the palace, it is natural for ladies, when there is separation, they cry. So, they are shedding tears, but Maharaj Yudhishthira asked them to stop, not to cry, because it may be inauspicious. Krishna was going home and everyone should give him farewell, a smiling face, but they could not do so. That was not possible. They are feeling so much of Krishna's separation that they were crying, and Maharaj Yudhishthira asked them not to cry. No one could make Lord Krishna stay at Hastinapur when he decided to start for Dwarka. But the simple request to Yudhishthira that the Lord remain there for a few days more was immediately effective. This signifies that the power of the king of loving affection, which the Lord could not deny, the Almighty God thus conquered only by loving service. Krishna, although ready for going, still Yudhishthira Maharaj stopped. And because Yudhishthira Maharaj is the elder cousin of Krishna and very exalted, pious king, Krishna could not refuse the order. The Almighty God is thus conquered only by loving service and nothing else. Prayasa ajitopi jitapasi. Krishna is ajita. Nobody can conquer Krishna, nobody can order Krishna, nobody can supersede Krishna, nobody is greater than Krishna, nobody is equal to Krishna, nobody is powerful than Krishna, nobody is richer, everything. Krishna is the supreme being. Therefore, his another name is Ajita. Ajita means, Jita means conquered, Ajita means who is never conquered. Krishna had so many fights with the demons. Even in his childhood, the demons could not conquer over Krishna. Beginning from Putana, when he was only 3 months old, and after the killing of so many other demons, Krishna was never defeated. That is the history. He was never defeated. Ajita, therefore his name is Ajita. But Ajita becomes conquered. Ajitopi jitapasi. Although King Krishna is never conquered, still you can conquer him. How? Simply by becoming his beloved devotee. Just like Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev is one of the recognized stalwart devotee of Krishna, Mahajan, authority. Whatever Bhishma will speak on devotional service, that is authoritative. All the 12 Mahajans, Shambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kapila, Kumara, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma. So, Bhishma wanted to conquer over Krishna. He promised. How he conquered, that you know the story, that when Duryodhana showed some reluctance that, my dear grandfather, you are not fighting with the Pandavas wholeheartedly because you have got affection for them. So, you are on my side, you should fight wholeheartedly. A little criticizing. So, in order to please Duryodhana, Bhishma promised that tomorrow I shall kill all the 5 brothers. Is that all right? Yes, sir, do that. So they cannot be saved unless Krishna breaks his promise. Krishna said that both the parties were informed that it is family fight. I cannot take part in the family, but I can divide myself into 2, my soldiers one side and I am one side. But even if I am in one side, I will not fight. So this was his promise, that he would not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but Bhishma obliged him to fight, to break his promise in order to save Arjuna. Therefore, Bhishma conquered over Krishna because he had to break his promise. Arjuna was in such a precarious condition that unless Krishna would take up the weapon to stop Bhishma, Bhishma was determined, all right, let me kill my grandson. So in battlefield, it was a great ocean of fighting, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they are compared with big sharks, crocodiles in the ocean. That was described by Parikshit Maharaj, that only for Krishna my grandfather Arjuna was saved. Otherwise, it was impossible for my grandfather to conquer over the fight, to come out victorious. It is simply due to Krishna. So Bhishma conquered over Krishna. Instead of conquering over Arjuna, he conquered over Krishna. So similarly, here also, Maharaj Yudhishthira, he conquered over Krishna's decision. If we become devotee of Krishna, then ajitopi jitopasi. This is the statement of Lord Brahma, that Krishna can be conquered, just like Jasodama conquered over Krishna. The Damodar Sutra you are reading, how Krishna is afraid of his mother. So any devotee can attain that stage, controlling Krishna by love and affection. There is no question. A devotee never likes to control over Krishna. They want to serve Krishna. This is also service. When a devotee conquers over Krishna or controls over Krishna, that is also service. That is not actually controlling. Because Krishna wants to be controlled. Just like a father sometimes says to his children, small children, to rise over the body, and they kick the father. And the father feels some relief. It is a kind of massaging. So, similarly, everyone worships Krishna as the Supreme Being, and therefore Krishna wants sometimes to be thought as insignificant, subordinate. That is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that everyone worships me, but without worshipping, if somebody controls over me, I am very much happy. So, to control over Krishna is not a very easy job unless one is a great devotee. He cannot. They just like the cowherd boys. They used to rise on the shoulder of Krishna. Krishna was defeated in play. So the bet was that one who is defeated, he would take the other party on his shoulder. So Krishna became defeated. Ithang satang brahma sukhanubhutya dasangatanang paradaivatena maya sitanang naradarakena sadhang vijarahu kritapunna punya. When Krishna is playing like that, taking his friend on the shoulder, so Sukadeva Goswami made a statement, who is this person taking his friend on his shoulder? Ithang satang brahma sukhanubhutya. The great sages, impersonalists, they merge into the Brahma Sukha. So, Brahma Sukha, Brahma is the effulgence of body of Krishna. Jasya Prabha Prabhavatu Jagadanna Koti. Brahma, impersonal Brahma, is the rays of the body of Krishna. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami is pointing out that here is the source of Brahma Sukha. The impersonalists, they take pleasure to merge into Brahma Sukha, but here the personality, Krishna, who is taking his friend on his shoulder, he is the source of Brahma Sukha. In other words, the impersonalists enjoy Brahma Sukha and the devotee enjoys that Supreme Brahma by rising up on his shoulder. That is the position of the devotee. Ithang satang brahma sukhanubhutya dasangatanang naradaivate. And he is the supreme person for the devotees. Dasangata, those who have accepted to become the servant, eternal servant of Krishna, So for them, here is the Supreme Person. And Maya Sitanang Nardarakina, those who are under the influence of Maya, they are seeing Krishna as ordinary human child. Maya. And who are playing? Na sadhang vijarhu krita punna punya. They have come to this position so much so that they are rising on the shoulder of Krishna. How? Krita punna punya. Punna punya. Heaps of pious activities. Many, many lives. First of all, one has to understand Krishna after becoming very, very perfect. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaye jatatam api siddhyanam kaschid vettimam tattva. Out of many millions of persons, somebody is interested in making this life perfect. Generally, the Kurmis, they do not know what is the perfection of life. Therefore it is said, Manusyanam sahasreshu kachi jatati siddhaya. They are being carried away by the waves of material nature. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is warning, my dear friends, why you are being carried away by the waves of this material ocean? Mayar vase jaccha vese, kacha havudubuva. This is Vaishnava's desire. Vaishnava paradukha dukhi. Paradukha dukhi kipambudhi. So Vaishnava vision is different. Vaishnava vision is, like he can see what is the position of this Maya Sitana, those who have taken shelter of this Maya, what is their position? Position is miserable, dukkhalayam asasatam, and they are being carried away by the waves. Today one kind of body, tomorrow another body, tomorrow next life. Hindus say the Kurmis are being carried away. So, therefore, out of such millions of Kurmis, one becomes Gyani. Gyani. কোটি কর্মী মধ্যে এক জ্ঞানী শ্রেষ্ঠ. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, that out of many, many karmis, one who is Gyani. Gyani means one who knows that I am not this body, I am spirit, but still there is some mistake. They think that I am the Supreme Spirit. Soham. Maya is so strong, even after so much austerities, coming practically on the verge of perfection, they are misled by Maya. The Soham. Soham means I am the same. But I am the same does not mean I am the same Supreme. I am the same in quality. Soham does not mean that I am as good as the Supreme Brahma. It does not mean. Part is never equal to the whole. We are part of the Supreme Brahma, Mamaivangsha. So, in quality, just like a small particle of gold is also gold. Quality is the same. A small drop of seawater is the same quality, salty, but does not mean the drop of seawater becomes this sea. Their Maya is so strong. Therefore, Bhagavad says the impersonalists, Mayavadis, although they think that they have become one with the Supreme, but their intelligence is not yet complete. Janner Vindakha Vimukta Mani. They think like that, now we have become perfect, Narayan. But Bhagavad says, sir, you may think like that you have become liberated, but you are not liberated, because you are still in ignorance, because you are thinking one with the Supreme. Abhishuddha buddhaya, your intelligence is not yet perfect. Therefore Krishna says, Jatataamapi siddhyanam koschid vettimam tattva. Siddha, Jnanis are siddhas, yogis are siddhas. Although they are trying their best to become perfect, but still they are missing Krishna on account of Avishuddha Buddhi. And therefore, Arujjakachena parang padang tata, although by austerities they come to that platform of Brahma Anubhav, Brahma realization, still they fall down. Anadita Jusmad Angraya, on account of neglecting to worship the Supreme Personality of God. So they cannot understand Him. Koschit, Krishna says, Koschit Vettimam Tattva. Not that everyone Jnani will understand. Even one is Jnani, then he will take many births to understand Krishna. Bhaunam janmanamante jnanavan mang prapadyate. So, to understand God, the Supreme Being who is controlling the whole universe, it is very, very difficult to understand Him. But if we become devotee, then Krishna reveals Himself. That is, then not only the devotee understands what is Krishna, but he attains the position that he can order over Krishna, he can control Krishna. This is devotee's position. So why devotees should aspire for merging into the effulgence of Krishna's rays? They have got a different position. So, we should try to become a devotee simply by service. You can become a perfect devotee simply by service. There is no other method. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Bhakti means service. Simply, that is bhakti. Sevanmukhe hi jivhadu. Simply the spirit, bhakti. Bhakti uttama. Anukullena krishnānusilanam. Bhakti uttama. Anukullena. Whatever Krishna orders, if you discharge that, that is bhakti. Simply favorable to Krishna. Whatever Krishna says, so Krishna says very simple thing, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. If we become intelligent enough, then we fully surrender to Krishna. And Krishna says, manmana bhava madbhakta madhyajimang namaskuru. We take up the principle to think of Krishna always, 24 hours. satatang chintan kirtayantang ama. If you chant Krishna's name, then satatang, 24 hours, that is possible, just like Haridas Thakur used to do. Then you think of Krishna without fail, and other things automatically come. Manmana bhavamokta. Who can devote so much time for thinking of, unless he has become a devotee? So manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji, and a devotee is always ready to worship Krishna, offering obeisances, however big he may be. In this way, we can attain this position of Maharaj Yudhishthira or Jashoda Mai, when Krishna the Ajita could be controlled even by the devotee. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vyasa Vyasa Dhyarishvare Hagyai Krishnena Dhuta Karmana Prabodhito Pitihasa Nabudyata Sucharpita Vyasa Dhyarishvare Hagyai Krishnena Dhuta Karmana Prabodhito Pitihasa Nabudyata Sucharpita. King Yudhishthira, who was very much aggrieved, could not be convinced, despite instructions by great sages headed by Vyasa and the Lord Krishna himself, this performer of superhuman feats, and despite all historical evidence.
Vyasadai Dishare Iha going Krishnena Adbhuta Karmana Prabodhita Api Itihasai Na Buddhata Sucharpita. After the battle of Kurukshetra, when everything was settled, Maharaj Yudhishthira, who is well known as Dharmaraj, very pious king, he was very much aggrieved. It is said that 64 crores of men were dead within 18 days in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, Maharaj Yudhishthira, being very much pious, he did not like the idea of so many persons being killed simply for the sake of enthroning him on the throne of the kingdom. He was very much aggrieved that for me so many men have died, how much sinful I have become, although I am going to be the king. But he had no cause to become angry. Even great learned sages like Vyas, therefore it is said Vyasadai. Not only Vyas, Vyasadai Ishvara. And Krishna was there, he is Ishvara. Ishara Param, not only ordinary Ishara, but the Supreme Ishara. Ishara means controller. So, there are many different types of controller, but the supreme controller is Krishna. Ishara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha. So, he also tried to convince Maharaj Yudhishthira that it was duty for a Kshatriya in dutiful war, Dharma Yuddha, therefore the battlefield of Kurukshetra is called Dharma Kshetra. Although there was fighting, but the fighting arena was not ordinary land, it is Dharma Kshetra. Because the fighting was being performed under the superintendence of Krishna. Dharma Setu, the leader of all religiosity. Under his superintendence, under his care, the fighting was going on. Therefore, this fighting was not ordinary fighting. People cannot understand that how fighting can be religious principle. Yes, that fighting can be also religious principle, but not the present fighting. Present fighting, the politicians, out of their whims, they declare war. That is not religious fighting. That is abominable. That is to serve their political ends. When the politicians cannot control the mass of people being dissatisfied, they make a clique to declare some war so that all their attention may be diverted. This is politics. But the battle of Kurukshetra was not that type of battle. One should be aware of the battle of Kurukshetra very nicely. It was Dharma Yuddha. Dharma Kshetri Kurukhetri Samavita Judutsava. Why they settled up that the fighting should take place in the Dharma Kshetra. They are to fight Jujutsava. It was settled they will fight. But why they selected the Dharma Kshetra? This is Vedic system. Even up to date, in villages, not in the cities. In the cities, as soon as there is some misunderstanding between you and me, we go to the court, either criminal court or civil court, to settle up. And it takes years to settle up the business. It goes on. I have seen for generation, one generation past another generation, the fighting is going on in the court. But if people are Krishna conscious, it could be settled within few minutes. Still among the villagers, the system is current in India. When there is some fighting, they go to a saintly person or in a temple to settle up. Just like when Sanatana Goswami was there in Vrindavan, so in that area, whenever there was some fighting between two parties, they would come to Sanatana Goswami, Baba, आप इसको फैसला कर दीजिए. Baba means saintly person. So they would come to Sanatana Goswami and they would ask him to become mediator, arbitrator, to settle. And whatever verdict or judgment he will give, they will accept. The Baba has said, that's all right. Therefore, Srinivas Acharya has prayed the Goswamis, Dhira Dhira, Krishnat Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro, Dhira Dhira Priyo. Dhira Dhira Priyo. There are two kinds of men. One is Dhira, very learned, sober, everything in knowledge, wise. They are called Dhira. Therefore Krishna says, Dhiras tattva namayati dehinasmin yatha dehi kaumara jovanang jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tattva namayati. He has specifically mentioned the word dhira. Dhira means the sober, learned, generally we call in English language gentleman. Gentleman means he must be sober, learned and thoughtful. That is gentleman. But nowadays gentleman is defined simply by dress. Dhira and adhira. So there are two classes of men, and the Goswamis were very dear to both classes of men. Dhira, dhira. That is the sign of a saintly person. Samachitya. Samachitya. They have no enemies. Ajata satrava. Even the adhira, the saintly person considers as friend, and even a dhira, he considers friend. Pandita samadarshi. This is the dhira. So, these saintly persons were also advising Vyasdev and Vyasadvai, not only Vyasdev, there are other very big saintly persons. The monarchy, as it is conceived in the Vedic civilization, that is not this monarchy. Just like we have got experience in the history, a monarch means get money and spend it for wine and women. Not that kind of monarch. Monarchy means the king, the ideal monarchy, Maharaj Yudhishthira, Maharaj Parikshit. They were very much advanced in spiritual knowledge, in administrative knowledge, in economic development, everything perfectly they were educated. And they were being guided by saintly persons like Vyasadvai. Vyasadvai, Maharaj Ramchandra was being guided by Vasishtha. So, the kings were guided by a committee of saintly persons, big learned saintly person, Brahmins. They would give advice to the king. He is already learned. There was a case, Ben Maharaj, the father of Prithu Maharaj. He was very much upstart. Therefore, the committee of the learned Brahmins and saintly person killed him because he was not hearing to the committee of the saintly person, Brahmins. He was killed, and his son, Maharaj Prithu, was enthroned. There are many cases. If the king was an upstart, the Brahmins, they are so powerful, they did not require any weapon. Simply by their words they will kill. So this monarchy is different. People now, they have taken to democracy. Democracy is also mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that in the Kali Yuga there will be no more monarchy or the kingdom ruled by the Kshatriyas, but amongst the people will be tricky, somewhere or other, get the votes of the people, he will be seated on the throne. That is stated, somewhere or other. So therefore, people are in trouble, because so many rascals, they somehow or other manage to get some vote and become the president and minister, and what they know? They do not know how to govern, how to bring peace in the country. But this monarchy, Maharaj Yudhishthira, just see, because for the sake of his personal interest, so many people have been killed, he was sorry. Just see. Not that somewhere or other you divide India, let me become Prime Minister, that's all. We have got political information that in India, when the proposal was for partition, Gandhi was completely against this partition. He said, better I will have no independence, still I shall not allow the country to be divided. He was stubborn on this point. But he was absent, and in the meantime, the big Prime Minister signed it, agreed, partition, because he wanted to be Prime Minister. Anyway, somewhere or other. Let the country go to hell. This is politics going on. Not Yudhishthira Maharaj is not like that. Let somehow or other, let me become king. Let so many people were killed, they were mine. No, he was so sorry. So sorry that he could not be solaced even by the instruction of Krishna and saintly person like Vyasdev. He was so sorry. Of course he accepted, but personally he was so very, very sorry that so many people have been killed for me. But what could be done? It was Krishna's desire. Krishna comes, Paritrana sadhuna vinashaya cha duskitam. His true business. So he wanted to establish the kingdom of his representative. He wanted that Maharaj Yudhishthira is right representative. He should be enthroned on the kingdom of whole world. Formerly, Bharatvarsha meant this whole planet, not this small tract of land, now it is called India. But the Bharatvarsha means the whole planet, this planet. There was one flag, up to Maharaj Parikshit, there was one flag, not like at present there are hundreds and thousands of flags. You Americans, you know, in New York, when you pass through that United Nations building, we see so many flags are there. They are united, but everywhere the flag is increasing, disunited. Not like that. Actually, by monarchy, the pious king, there was unity all over the world. All over the world. And in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it was a family fight. So all the kings of different parts of the world, they joined this side or that side. That is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So, but still Maharaj Yudhishthira did not like that so many people would be killed for the sake of enthroning him, but Krishna desired. Krishna desired. Krishna wanted it, that the Duryodhan, they were demon-like, simply making politics and diplomacy. Their only business was Dhritarashtra, along with his sons, they are simply making diplomacy how to kill the Pandavas and catch over the kingdom. That was their policy. So the political head, executive head, of course he should be intelligent to understand diplomacy and politics, but his only business is to see how people in general are in happiness. That is his business. Nowadays political parties, they are simply engaged how to keep up their position. All the political parties, I have seen personally, simply they are making plan how to keep their position in the government, so they may not be dethroned, other party may not come. Their whole time is wasted. When they will think of, no, the people are suffering for want of food, their people are suffering for unnecessary increase of price, although things are available in the black market, how to manage this? That is the duty of the government first. But nobody is caring. Hundreds and thousands of people are starving, unemployment, but they are getting their fat salary and they are satisfied. Bring income tax and divide amongst themselves, that's all. So Maharaj Yudhishthira was not that type of king. Therefore, he is known as Dharmaraj Yudhishthira, most pious king. So, he was not sorry, and Prabodhitopi, he was trying to pacify Maharaj Yudhishthira, don't be sorry, it is done for the sake of good cause, for establishing Dharma Samasthapanarthaya, so don't be sorry, but still he could not be pacified. Sucharpita. Sucha means distress. He was so much distress within his mind that he could not be satisfied. So next verse. Or you can speak.
जयम विष्णुवाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य कृष्ण कृपा श्रीमती शिला भाई चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की अमल पुराण श्रीमद् भागवतम की